pray, God, that you help us, God, to have patience with one another, to love each other, God, to get rid of our hates, God, to get rid of our jealousy, to get rid of inferiorities, God, that we start to work together, that we start to love each other, that we start to live in peace, God.
Dr. Bodden and I concluded that he was shot at least 6 times. While the shot could have come from the back, because if I'm standing here walking along and get shot from that direction, you see I pull my arm up, it's in that same general area. The arm is a very mobile part of your body. So it also could have occurred when he was putting his hands up. So I put my hands up and you see where that wound is at. It could have happened if he put his arms across in a defensive manner. We don't know.
Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up, don't shoot!
Is there anything you could have done differently that would have prevented that killing from taking place?
No.
Nothing?
No.
And you're absolutely convinced, when you look through your heart and your mind, that if Michael Brown were white, this would have gone down in exactly the same way?
Yes.
No question?
No question.
Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
The 50 prosecutors, you only got 3 African Americans. They left the black body laying on the ground. And then they wouldn't leave a real dog on the ground for that. 17 lieutenants, 16 of them are white.
Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
Racism always gonna be here. I'm gonna tell you, this country was founded on racism. When they brought the slaves over, that's the start of it right there. So, slaves is, you can't get around it. From day one, it's been racist.
And there is no way to fix it?
No, there's no way to fix it. It can't be fixed. No. How you gonna fix something that a country was founded on? You know, you can't fix it. They can talk all they want, they do all they want, they ain't gonna fix it. I mean, it could get better, but it can't be fixed.
Lawfully assembled. You need to get out of the street immediately.
Guns have been drawn on me in front of my house before, and I've been pulled over for no reason. And it could have been me that's dead right now. It could have been me that was Mike Brown, or me that was Eric Garner. And I thank God it wasn't. But, you know, something has to be done. Black lives do matter. We all matter. And it's just it's heart-wrenching that we have to pay these people. We have to pay these people with our tax dollars. And, you know, we have to pay these people. And we pay them to protect us. We pay them to serve us, and they're the same ones that's killing us.
You know, people don't get that upset for no reason. These people are rioting over losing a life, a young life. Maybe he's done some things that we don't agree with, but you know what? He didn't have the chance to grow older and change himself, like myself. I used to write graffiti from 1995 to 2003, and I did some things that I shouldn't have been doing, you know, but that's basically what it all is. You know, it's like we all deserve the chance to change and develop in our own ways, at our own speed, our own time.
About police in general here?
They target us a lot of times, and us meaning brown people, brown-skinned people. We're targeted a lot of times. We're followed. We're pulled over. We're jailed for. I've been jailed for loitering before, and it was just simply false. It was untrue. And we have to pay these erroneous prices, these astronomical prices, when a lot of times we don't really have those funds. Like, I'm a student, and so I don't have $500 for, you know, an offense that I didn't even commit. And so it's just those injustices that happen. There's no governing committee that mediates or arbitrates conflicts with our police officers and us as citizens, and so we don't really have a lot of rights.
We say fight back! We say fight back! We say fight back! No peace! No peace!
And that requires we listen and not just shout. That's how we're going to move forward together.
I had hopes in the beginning, but I also think it's exposed a lot of racism in our country as well, because I think a lot of people oppose Obama not based on his policies, but his skin color. So I think it's helped, but it's also exposed racism.
A very good friend and classmate of mine, you know, went out to dinner at this restaurant that's like 3 blocks away from my house. And she went in there with her twin sister. They were the only black people in the entire restaurant. They went in, it was like dead silent. Everyone was staring at them the whole time they were eating. And this is my friend who's a PhD in chemical engineering and her sister who's a doctor. So, you know, it's just, you know.
Have you been pulled over before for no reason and stereotyped?
Yeah. Well, you know, something happened to me years back when I was in my 20s. I worked on a showboat downtown, the Goldenrod. And I was called, a customer got full and told me he pitched my black ass off the boat. And I was like, excuse me?
Wow.
Black I am and proud I am. But I don't think you'll be pitching me though where the whole melodrama stopped. And everybody in his party, they tried to tip me, give me money, and like I said, you know, my human dignity has been insulted. Your money cannot buy.
Shut it down!
Did you expect this?
Yeah, I did.
But you still hoped that it would be different?
You try and have hope, but this what happened.
We just hope for one time that our lives will matter, that somebody would see that our lives are valuable. But it didn't happen that way, just like it hasn't happened before.
Give us some room, please. Back up.
We were not surprised at what the outcome was. That's right. Certainly it is painful for the mother and father. Certainly there'll be emotional reactions. I've never seen a case where there wasn't. You're dealing with their flesh and blood. Yeah. But let the record be clear. You have broken our hearts, but you have not broken our backs.
Damn it. Do it. Go!
All of America join us in demanding change, making a difference for the lives of our children and for the sake of our communities.
As you can see, it's not really the best place to be. They robbed my grandfather's home, took TVs and just a bunch of everything. And it was, my uncles went out and found them, found some people that had it in that vacant home right there. And so there's vacant homes here, 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 there, and it's just everywhere with empty lots. This is my grandfather's house here. And so we're back here in front of my grandfather's house, and you know, you kind of get to see the type of destruction that these people live in, and it's normal for them. You know, it's normal to live in places that are decaying and in an area that is gloomy, it's sad. The grass is not well kept, the trees are just, I mean, it's really hard for people to be positive in a place where it's very down. It's kind of depressing. It's not really a lot of newness going on in the neighborhood. It's not really revitalized. And so people grow up and they become accustomed to, and they get comfortable in their state. This is another vacant house here. It's a house or two over from my grandfather's house. It's been like this for years. I mean, and God knows what's inside of it. No one knows. Disconnect with a lot of our elderly and those with a lot of wisdom and the young people that are here.
Yeah, the elderly are scared, and then the young people don't want to listen. They got their mind set on what they want to do. It's really hard. I was on the bus with a group of them, you know. They sit back like, yeah, the old folks, they scared. They want to put us out there and holler about what we shouldn't be doing, but they not getting out there to do it. You know, he's directing that directly towards me and some of the older people that kept looking at us, too. I don't have anything against marching for, but I'm not going to be out here while you clowning, shooting at because I don't want to be a statistic. And I'm not going to be out here while you stealing and looting. I'm not going to get popped upside the head. I'm 62 years old. You know, that's not the way to go about. I have nothing against protesting, but it's the way you protest. You know.
For them, there are no citizens or foreigners, allies or enemies.
Spying on close friends and partners is totally unacceptable.
Law-abiders or criminals. There are only objects of surveillance.
Where's your proof? You know, I said, okay, if I were to pull out the documentation right now, and it had a bunch of classification lines on it, and I could prove it with the documentation right here at this table, do you think that I'd make it out of this building without being shackled?
5 seconds. And over the mic is all feeling to go.
Did you know the press is the only industry specifically mentioned in the Constitution?
Stand by.
That's because a free and open press is critical to our democracy.
Track Alpha. Roll Alpha.
In fact, the single biggest threat facing our nation today is the corporate takeover of our government and our press. We've been hijacked by a handful of powerful transnational corporations that will profit by destroying what our founding fathers once built up. I'm Tom Hartman, and on this show, we reveal the big picture of what's actually going on in the world. We go beyond identifying the problem. We try to fix it. Rational debate and a real discussion of the critical issues facing America.
Stand by on camera, go.
Ready to join the movement? Then welcome to the big picture.
Crosstalk rules in effect. That means you can jump in anytime you want.
Wednesday morning at 3:30 in the morning. Yes, they threw a brick through the, I had 2 bricks holding us down, and they took the bricks and threw it through the window.
Did they take anything with them?
Oh yeah, they took everything.
They took everything?
Yeah. They took everyone's working equipment. They took all the TVs. They took everything.
And I wouldn't think that it was somebody from this neighborhood either, because I mean, everybody seems to be cool with you. You know what I mean? We come here to get our haircuts and stuff like that, so it had to be somebody from somewhere else that was just trying to get an opportunity for something, you know.
And by the Mike Brown thing going on,
national television,
they possibly been in here before or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But this uproar is happening. It's an opportunity for opportunists. To do what they wanted to do anyway and get by with it because of something else going on.
Yeah, so unfortunate.
Of course.
We gotta do something about this, man. I'm sorry this happened to you. I know I come here, I know. And I know y'all good people too, so.
I know.
You have a good one, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.
This here is an old factory, and it's been closed down and shut down to decay for years. Most of the people that are in the city don't have any jobs in the city. There's not a lot of jobs in the city. And so it forces people to go out to the county to get work, to find work. It forces them for their taxes from where they do work to be invested in the county places where the county schools are, and they just leave their businesses looking like this. Another eyesore, right?
What is it?
He asked me if I wanted some drugs.
Who did?
This guy that was walking down the street.
Asked if you want some drugs?
He asked me that I want some weed. And it just amazes me how infested this area is with drugs and marijuana and your pills and all of these things. It's just disgusting to me how accessible it is, and we've only been out here for so long, for less than 5 minutes, and we've been approached with drugs already. This is, instead of, maybe if these people saw that there was a job that they can get, they could possibly be a manager at this factory in their neighborhood instead of being a hustler of drugs, maybe they would want out of this, you know? Maybe if there was some exposure to what they could be in their neighborhoods, what possibility, if it wasn't devastation around, maybe they would want better than just to sell dime bags and nickel bags, you know, and to infect themselves.
White, brown men! We got to fight back! White, brown men! We got to fight back! White, brown men! We got to fight back!
White, brown men!
We got to fight back!
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 Put the shot up now. Okay. Move on.
There's not a playground for them, so they have to resort to playing in the streets, playing in traffic, playing basketball in traffic. So being stopped every 5 minutes, and if you look at these cars, they're not really worried about. They're barely stopping at stop signs in this neighborhood, and so they're just going about their business, and they're flying by like nobody's business. So what are they gonna do with no neighborhood schools? There's a school right here where we just came from. Watch out. And you see how fast these cars are going. But there's a school right here in the distance where they could be playing basketball in a safe environment, but all they have is this out in the street. There's not really a lot of patrolling in this area either, so it's not really a safe area for them to play ball. And you know, from everything from their clothing, you know, not being properly covered, and not being, you know, they're in the streets playing, but this is a norm for them. This is their lifestyle. This is what they're used to. This is devastation. This is complete destruction. Now, this used to be somewhere where people once, where students once were educated, and now it's been left abandoned. And this is the city of St. Louis's property, and they have it for sale now. Ferguson was bailed out of the situation, the destruction that happened there, where there were businesses that burned down and places had been destroyed.
Bailed out? What
they were bailed out. The government issued bills for free funding, and for interest-free loans for the businesses as well. Now, it just boggles me because they get one less than a week after it occurred. And this school has been sitting here decaying for years and years and years. As you can see, this kind of stuff doesn't happen overnight. This would never happen in St. Louis County. They would call it an eyesore, meaning it doesn't look good for the community, and they wouldn't have it. I mean, they would do something about it immediately. Nothing like this would happen in the county.
It doesn't look good, that's for sure.
Oh no, it definitely is bad to look at. It doesn't make you feel good. People would be furious to have it in their neighborhood, because it would lessen their property value of their home, which would lessen how much money is actually given to their schools. This is mostly black people living here in these parts of the town, and you know, their city and their community is just left to decay, and this is destruction. We're living in destruction daily. How is it that someone wants to do better for themselves, or are excited about getting up to come out and have to walk past this? You know, it's a ghost town. It's pretty scary to look at.
Economically, they're dogging us. They're treating us like slaves. That's why you see these chains and stuff on us. This is why you see the ropes and the dogs, because they're dogging us as a people. Why is the governor 5 or 6 days later just coming in? Because this wasn't important to him. What's important to him is when some Jews have some problem, or when any other nationality has some problem, but when black people are being shot down in the street. Right across the street, the Ferguson Police Department, they have 53 police. 50 of them are white. The city of St. Louis is where you see the sergeant stripes on here. They just made 15 white sergeants here in the city of St. Louis. No blacks.
Dear officers, you are part of a system. You may be good men, but you're a part of a racist system.
I get scared of seeing a policeman more than I do walking in a dangerous neighborhood. That's a problem.
Our streets! Our streets!
You need to get out of the street immediately.
God is my everything. He's my joy, sorrow.
You sound like you can do it.
He's my hope. He's my hope for tomorrow. Yeah, he's my rock.
Racism comes from fear, and the fear comes from the unknown, of not knowing, not interacting with people of different races. So we don't know each other, so therefore we're afraid of each other. I think there's an inherent fear of the black male.
Life on the line. And people in Ferguson and around the country are mad as hell, not because we've been dismissed, but they dismissed our humanity. We've been denied.
As I said last night, there are productive ways of responding and expressing those frustrations, and there are destructive ways of responding. Burning buildings, torching cars, destroying property, putting people at risk, that's destructive, and there's no excuse for it. Those are criminal acts. And people should be prosecuted if they engage in criminal acts.
I think President Obama initially, as a community organizer in Chicago, had the zeal to make a difference, but I believe he's become a part of another kind of problem of political, the political bubble. Once you get in it, you can be bought. Your views can be changed suddenly because of who is paying you and who you're rubbing shoulders with. And unfortunately, I think that happens a lot in our political system.
It's about what you know. It's about the education system. You know, we only are aware of presidents, and we're only aware of, slave owners, but we're not aware of where we come from beyond the seas and the land of the United States of America. We need to know our history. We need to be taught all of our history and not just the last 200 years of our history. This school is a very old school. They closed it down some years ago, and it's been closed down ever since. And what they do is they'll close down schools in the neighborhood, and they'll ship the kids to centralized locations. And then that's when you see a lot of the gang violence begin to occur, because you have these kids in this neighborhood being shipped to schools over on another part of town, and they could be not in a good standing with each other. And this could house so many kids. There's so many kids that are hungry. There are a lot of kids with no place to go. They're going from friend's house to friend's house, and in different kind of situations, and they have no place to go. And this could possibly be somewhere for kids to go. This could be a homeless community or anything. There's so many opportunities for this huge property.
Racist, and that's wrong. And y'all saw it, and y'all know it.
This school could be used for a recreational center for kids, to give them an alternative to go to. I mean, a lot of times, we tell our kids, hey, you need not to be doing this or you need to be doing that. But what are the alternatives? What kind of options are we giving them other than going to their neighborhood to make extra money or to play craps or to steal cars and things like that they're used to doing? This door's open over here.
You want to take a look?
God knows what's in here. There could be missing people in here because there are missing people in the neighborhood. I mean, it's very dangerous. I mean, there could be drugs and, people that are growing drugs in here. You just never know what really could be going on in here. And no one knows about it because this property is not taken care of. There's somebody in here. Yeah. I hear it. It's people walking around in here. And I don't want them to think that I am a part of the police or something like that, or FBI, or you just never know these days what's going on. But you can hear things moving around in there.
This is a regular church service, but there is an extra emphasis on the events of Ferguson this evening.
All of us deal with what one author called the other, okay? So the other is someone who is not like you for various reasons, right? They don't share your ethnicity, they don't live in your community, they don't have your socioeconomic status, or they don't share your faith. So we find ourselves in the middle of diversity, whether we want it or not.
For example?
It would be best. That way we can fit them and adjust them on her and make sure she's seeing out of them well. So, we're going to close at 5 tonight. Yeah, and we'll be open 9 to 5 tomorrow. There's been a big misunderstanding about the town of Ferguson itself being racial and stuff like that. The town itself is not racial. All races have gotten along for years in the town of Ferguson. We're happy living together and stuff like that. It was an unfortunate incident between a police officer and a young man that caused all the, I guess, unrest in Ferguson.
Why did it all happen, do you think? Like, why everything happened here like this?
Because I think racism still is still around, which it shouldn't be. I think people are influencing it more by talking about it every single day through social media, through 24-hour news and all that.
So I think because people talk about it, it exists even more?
Yes. I think the people that are talking about it on social media are making others believe in it, and so on and so forth. It's a domino effect. After one person talks about it, another person talks about it, and another person talks about it.
It takes one thing. It don't take number one little incident to bring all of it, all the history back. You know what I'm saying? People try to forget about it, let it go, get along, and then you get one little incident, and then that racism builder, he stuck his head right back out there. You know, like this. This used to be peaceful. Nobody bothered nobody, everybody, hi, how you doing? Until that little incident, it just happened to be a young black dude and a white guy. That brings the racism right back in pocket.
Assembling, we're doing our job. No, this is our job. We're not assembling, we're not protesting, sir. You cannot arrest me for doing my job. We're not protesting and we're not assembling. Why are you stopping our mouth? We're doing our job. Sir, why are you stopping me to do my job? I'm a German. My job and you're taking my equipment.
I got a right here, guys.
What if you, sat down with someone who was the other and asked them a few questions? And I'll give you some questions. I'll give you some help here. Here's question one. What was it like growing up? What was it like growing up? But like to listen to this and to hear stories of driving while black, and I got pulled over just because of my skin color, or just because I had rims and tinted windows, and I had breakfast with one of my friends today, white guy, got a new car, rims, tinted windows, and he got pulled over so much, he got rid of his tint on his car, because the cops had just come up thinking he was black. And so when he got rid of the tint, they could see that he was white, he didn't get pulled over.
Yeah, I think we're very well segregated. I think even as we come in our worship service on Sunday morning, Sundays are probably the most segregated time that we share, because on Sundays we all go to our separate churches and houses of worship, and we generally don't go together. We separate by race. So yes, there is segregation, and I think the segregation results in us not knowing each other, which results in the fear of the unknown, and perpetuates the problem of us fearing one another because we don't know one another, because we don't spend time with each other.
We've been betrayed by the country. We've been betrayed by the political system. We've been betrayed by the governor. We've been betrayed portrayed by the prosecuting attorney, but we just stopped by the church today to give thanks to God because God is bigger, better, and bolder than them all. In the same night, in the still they say.
This used to be a prominent area with a lot of businesses in the neighborhood. This neighborhood was a lot of middle-class area, and it's just been decaying for years now. And I mean, as you can see, these are different markets and tire shops and mechanic places and things of that nature. And it could give a lot of jobs. Like this strip alone could give a lot of jobs to people in the neighborhood. And you know, like we said before, people are working in their neighborhood, they're going to school in their neighborhood, the businesses, the taxes from the businesses are going to the schools and going to rebuild the neighborhood. And people would have more, would show more ownership for their city, more ownership for the community that they live in. But the city of St. Louis just allows their buildings to decay and to rot. They become a safety hazard for people that are just walking down the street. The buildings could collapse at any time and injure someone.
Separate and apart from the particular circumstances of Ferguson, which I am careful not to speak to because it's not my job as president to comment on ongoing investigations and specific cases, but the frustrations people have generally, those are rooted in some hard truths that have to be addressed.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all of the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
When I think about your goodness and all you done for me, how you saved me, raised me, and you gave me victory. Was blind, but now I see. You're the lamp to my feet. You're the very air that I breathe. Tried it on my own, never left alone. Came from the throne just to give it very own. Just me on Calvary. Even though I've done wrong, was looking in the mirror like I happened to myself. Couldn't help but think that I was looking at someone else. I was sinking, drifting, fading, far from the peaceful shore. Very deeply sank within, sinking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my groans and cried. From the water he lifted me, and that's when I found out that there was nothing left to do but to give my all to you. And I know you will come through like only you can do. And I've been trusting and trusting and trusting in you. That's all that I can do. I'm just looking to you.
The neighborhood where you at, the environment, it makes you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can make you better or it can take you down through the worst, you know what I'm saying?
Got mom stressing while she out working. Worried if I'm in the crib or if I'm out lurking.
See, I stay on the north side of St. Louis. Let's just say I stayed out probably in Ladue, you know what I'm saying? Probably with a bunch of girls, you know. So it's like just me growing up, I wouldn't have probably the aggression or anger that I got towards certain things.
Young, old, white, black, or blue. But who you turn to when the devil after you, Lord?
But a lot of our music, like, basically talks about sex, drugs, violence, you know what I'm saying? And people, they fund music like that, right? Like, I think for me, if I wasn't around, you know, that type of music, which is just so heavily in our neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, I probably wouldn't start smoking weed at 14. I probably wouldn't, you know, been off into some of the things, like you were saying, you know what I'm saying, but they pay for it, right?
Right. The teachers, who are the teachers? The parents, the siblings, the neighbors. When they pull up, that's all they bumping. That's all she's, you know what I'm saying, get to take in, you know what I'm saying? And then it's a point in her life where she has to make a decision, like, is this what I want to ultimately be like? Right. Or, you know, I can be more than this, you know, you get options.
And I always wanted to go to college and to get into higher education. And my school, which is now getting ready to close, it was very hard to venture out into higher education because a lot of times our curriculum, we didn't have books in our school. And so I missed out on years of math and years of science and those things that are essential for a higher education, which makes it very hard to be comfortable around other students, to be comfortable to enroll into classes. But this is Harrisville State University. It's an open enrollment school. And so you have students from all walks of life that come here. And Harrisville State University gives people the opportunity to, despite their past, start higher education. I was in the registration and getting my classes together, and I was like so scared to start like a math class because I know in my school like I missed 4 years basically of taking math classes, so I was like scared to even take the placement test for math and everything. So I just did like the most remedial class so that I can kind of grab those things that I could possibly have missed and, you know, move forward. Do you come across that a lot?
Absolutely, we do come across it a lot. But once we talk to the students and let them know that it's okay, it's just basically a refresher to get you acclimated to being on college campuses. It's really okay, and they kind of warm up to it once they go for the first couple of weeks, so it's not too bad.
All right.
As our prophets were arraigned, our leaders were being hanged. Those memories afflict pain, staring out my window pane. But I ain't about to complain. Grandma said, trust in his name. Driving fast in the devil's lane, just adding gas up on that flame. The past might give me gas, but at last I have emasculated. Had past amazing grace was fading. I'm so elated. Now I'm so elated. And my God was gracious. So there was nothing left to do but to give my all to you. And I know you will come through. Only you can do. And I've been trusting and trusting and trusting in you. That's all that I can do. I'm just looking to you.
And we were back on the conversation of, you know, how to end racism. And my brother brings up a good point. What were you saying?
The origins of racism. I was going to get a little deeper into the origins of racism. When we think of the Mike Brown and the Ferguson thing, when we talk about it, you know, some reporters or some people, just bystanders, they don't really want to hear about the racist side of the Mike Brown situation. They want us to cut racism out of our minds. Don't think about racism when you think about Mike Brown, is what they say. And they always tell us to forget about slavery, which was 400 or 500 years ago. But how can we forget slavery? And we kind of our generations have just caught up.
That's true.
They just caught up. And
I know my great-grandfather, he was a sharecropper. And he just passed away. And his mind frame was submit to white people. His mind frame, he called his master, it was like a big daddy type of name. He called the guy his boss that he worked for. And so that's who raised my grandfather. I'm 2 generations away from what was a slave. And so to say forget about slave, but like my brother said, are you telling us to forget about
you tell us to forget about slavery 400 years ago, but you don't want, we can't forget about the $400 million you raised off of slavery 400 years ago, and you're still eating off of it. Your generations after you are still eating off of it. And guess what those generations are saying to us? Get a job. Your parents should have did better. Why didn't you move? Why can't you move to anywhere else? Do better. But this is what we're given our cards, you know? Right. We're given a deck of cards, and it's not even a full deck.
Whereas some of our friends, they grow up, you know, if they're whites, a lot of times they have estates, they have inheritance, and you get handed down property, you get handed down money to start your life with versus someone starting their life with nothing, absolutely nothing.
at all of the businesses that are up. Check cashing places, the hair salons, the hair and beauty supply places,
the wireless stores. These are Chinese people, Arabian people.
Not one of these businesses are black owned on this whole street.
Did you lock the doors?
Just 1 second.
Okay, so this is one of our project areas, and it's a project housing community where it's made affordable for people that deal with poverty to live, so the lesser earning wages live here. Now, as you can see in these projects, that there are multiple families and they're living atop each other and aside of each other. Now, this was strategically set in place so that the government would be able to spy on these people, and so they have cameras in every part of the area to keep an eye on people. The cameras are usually on the light poles, so if we can go down here, there's a camera here.
That's the camera?
Yes. Now, with that being said, you have cameras that are, kind of everywhere, if you look around here. And these cameras are supposed to watch out for, they should be watching out for citizens and making sure that there's not a lot of drug trade and murders and things like that. However, this area is still prominent in murders, still prominent in drug activity. And so it kind of makes you think, well, is that the plan for this area? It's very easy when you get a group of people to live together, you can keep more of a watch on them. And you can kind of keep them together, so it's easier for the police to patrol, and it's easier for them to be grouped in their economic class and in their schools and things like that. So you know that if they live further out, then these kids won't go to this particular school, but they'll all be going into the same school. So this is the way that classism is existing, and it's just a deplorable sight.
It's hard sometimes to give people hope and preach and teach justice when they are not seeing any justice in the society. They're not seeing any justice in their communities. So that is a difficult process in telling them that they just have to wait, that justice will come, and that they have to look to the hills or look to God. And so that is a difficult transition to get those sermons together and make sure that the people understand that God is ultimately in charge, and that because we've been telling people that for a long time, and they're waiting to see some semblance of justice. So this is a difficult time, but this is a time that we tell people to walk by faith and not by sight.
I'm not protesting because I don't believe in protesting for a right that's been God-given. We're all equal as humans, but I am here to encourage my community to love everyone, no matter how we're treated, to love each other, to live in peace. These areas, they used to be all white, and they used to be premier areas here. And as you can see, as the businesses have left, the economy and the neighborhoods have gone down. They're non-existent anymore. And it's just amazing that if a certain group of people move out, then the economy of the neighborhood goes down, the quality of the neighborhood goes down, and it shouldn't be that way. Even if there are black people living in this neighborhood, why can't it be quality? Why can't it be worth living in? Just because one group leaves and one group moves out, it doesn't have, the economy doesn't have to move out, the quality doesn't have to move out with it. We're taught that we're given education from white people, and that white people are superior, and that we're just workers, that we just do what we're told. And if we're taught that we can do more than that, that we're inventors, that we're creators, that we're leaders, that we're royalty, then we can act like that, and we can move forward, we can move to the next level in regards to the economical issues.
They need to fix their shit here. Just quit fixing shit over there. They want to go all over the world trying to fix shit. Fix your own shit. Then you go help somebody. You can't help nobody unless you help yourself. My mama always taught me that. You help yourself, then you can help anybody. They don't believe in it. They believe in helping other people, and we last. And that's real.
Oh, gee, what up?
What up with you?